Hey, what is going on everybody? My name is M1K3 and welcome back to yet another video here on the channel. In today's video, as the title do suggest, we are going to be talking about how to W key like pros. In this video, if we get over 7,000 likes, I'll upload yet another video tomorrow as well. And boys, yesterday I said that if we get 3,000 people using code M1K3, I'll be uploading 2 videos a day for the next 5 days. And I'm not capping when I'm saying it. We got 300 new supporters yesterday alone. So now we have 732. We're getting close. Thank you guys so much for that. But let's get into today's video. Alright boys, first things first, a very obvious tip. It is to get entry tags, and let me just explain a little bit further. As you guys can see, I tagged this opponent for 56, and when you tag someone for 56 and their shield does not break, you can understand that this player might have bigs. However, if his shield did break, you can understand that he most likely only has minis to his name. Meaning his max health is going to be 150 HP, once again, meaning that you can one pump him with your green pump. This is a game changer. Just making these small mental notes can make you go from being a not so great fighter to a pretty good fighter, just as easy as that. The next thing I gotta talk about in this video is awareness, and personally I would say that the main thing that differences a semi-professional player from a professional player is their very awareness. So I just want to say that you're not watching a pro right now. This is me. A lot of you guys might be asking what I mean by awareness, and what I simply mean by awareness is looking around you, seeing if you get third-partied, listening to the audio, the footsteps of your opponent, knowing where he is at all times and what play he will make. I also recommend just looking at your opponent as much as you possibly can and trying to predict him. It is a really good way to fight. Don't try to do really mechanical stuff. It literally isn't needed in Fortnite. However, do not get me wrong, you do have to have somewhat good mechanics to become a good W queuer, obviously. But what I have seen from a lot of mechanical gods in game is that they start doing edit courses on people and then they have no awareness of where the opponent actually is. So if the opponent just stood still ADSing a shotgun, he could have eliminated you doing the edit course because you had no awareness whatsoever of what he was actually doing. So please play predictably, try to understand what your opponent is doing, and remember that he's a human too. He can make mistakes, and let him make the mistakes and make him pay for them. Next up, and I don't know why my voice sounds scuffed right now, but next up we have aiming, and this is where I feel a lot of pro players have a lot to offer, but newer players might not have as much to offer, you know what I'm saying? And the thing about aiming is that it's actually really simple to practice. It does take a lot of effort, but it is very simple. If you haven't watched my video on how to get insane aim in Fortnite, I would highly recommend you to watch that video. It's a pretty good video I made just a few days back. A lot of people seem to enjoy it. I put some time into it, and if you want to improve your aim and become better at W keying, definitely check that out. Alright boys, next up we gotta talk about knowing the tricks and meta, because this is incredibly important. By tricks, by the way, I mean exploits. If you don't already know exploits, be sure to search that up on YouTube. This is not gonna be a video about exploits, I'm sorry, but there are so many. Example right here, this exploit, not a lot of people know about it. It's pretty good and you can do it really easily. Just simply knowing easy things like that is gonna make W keying so much easier. When it comes to knowing the meta, one example could be controller players last season. If you were a controller player last season, you literally didn't have to use a shotgun, and that is a fact. A lot of great controller players in the region didn't even use a shotgun and they still play super high. They adapted to the meta and they popped off because of it. Lastly, in this video, I want to touch on applying pressure and reload management. And reload management, if you don't already know, is when you decide to reload your guns and how well and effectively you actually do so. It is very important to have good reload management, and pretty much no one talks about it. Obviously, everyone knows how to reload, but very few know when to do it at the correct time. Reload management is something I want you guys to think a little bit about in your next few fights, because it is really important. The reason reload management is so important is because if an opponent is healing, you obviously don't want him to heal, and shooting his wall very often cancels the heal, and that is why you always want to have good reload management, because you don't want your opponent to heal up to max HP after you've done a lot of damage to him. So a little bit of a tip is that when your opponent is turtling out, making new bases, cranking for height, reload your guns. Take your time and make sure they are fully reloaded, chill, and get that elimination. Alrighty boys, that will be it for today's video. I hope you all enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to drop a like. 7,000 likes for another video tomorrow as well. And with all of that being said, I'll see you all tomorrow with a brand new video. Until then guys, have an amazing day.